Hello, Pisces. We are going to dive right in. I've decided to just take a deep look. I feel like you're on the precipice of something new. But sometimes before we're ready to welcome in the new, we need to really know what's going on with the past or what's really happening with that. And these are general readings, so some of you, the new can be the past coming back in a new energy. So I just wanted to take a deep dive here for a moment and just really check for those of you who are in separation to the best of my ability in a general reading, what is going on. And so here we go. All right. I like to begin my readings by thanking those of you who have supported my channel and supported me on this journey. To those who regularly watch, subscribe, like, share, comment, I deeply appreciate each and every one of you. To those of you who are new to my channel, welcome, welcome. I am super happy to have you here. And we are going to dive in and just get a look at the past energies around Pisces, their person in separation. What is going on? Now, please tell us, Spirit, what is going on for Pisces in separation? What is going on? What is the energy of the connection? What is the energy of the past person? What is going on? This card came out upright. I mean, like face up. And for me, that means that this is something that is very important. This is a pretty prolific message. All your other cards came out on the floor or on the desk face down. All right. So it says, I have awakened to our connection. I know we have a timeless bond between us. And then it says, it hurts to see online that you've moved on with your life. So you definitely have someone who I feel like has awakened to whatever this connection is, this deep soul bond, right? But I feel like they feel they may have missed a chance or that they may be on the precipice of missing a chance. It says, I'm still trying to find a place for myself in the world, and I still see your smiling face in my mind's eye. I'm sorry for judging you and hurting your feelings. I feel like this person, you still hold a prominent place of importance in this person's life and in their thoughts and in their heart. And I feel that this person does feel that they owe you some kind of apology or some kind of acknowledgement or some kind of recognition here. I feel like this person thinks about you. I feel like, they may even fantasize or daydream a bit about you or think about the last time they were with you or the last time they saw you. I think that they feel that they have made some kind of error, in judgment. I'm getting the energy of like the King of Swords, like they may have been too logical and analytical and not considered, the heart space as much as they may not have prioritized feelings or, it's like I want to say feelings, but it's even this sense of deeper level connection. They may not have really given that a lot of reverence. They may have prioritized more practical or pragmatic kind of things with the King of Swords, the logical, the what their mental body is telling them rather than what their heart and their soul is telling them. I feel like you awakened something inside this person that with this depression energy, it's kind of like, I feel this sense of, loneliness or aloneness or this sense of living without or loss that this person did not have before they met you. you have this sex shop energy, and for me it's like these neon lights attached with this sense of intimacy. I feel that this person, in order to be happy or in order to light up or in order to find something sometimes to spark excitement within them about life, they fantasize about you. But I feel too that this person, it's like they're keeping it a secret. They're not, you know, I almost feel like it's something they keep in their heart of hearts and sort of don't even want to share with other people for the feeling that other people wouldn't understand or would think they were selfish or would think they were, I don't even know how to say this, but it's kind of like they wouldn't understand. Because I'm getting a bunch of different scenarios, like, I keep getting the feeling of choice around this, like they made a tough choice or they had a tough choice to make or they felt that they were in a situation where they couldn't really make a choice, where it's like the choice sort of had to be made for them or was already made for them. You know, maybe maybe it's like a work thing and it's not, you're not allowed to date at work, or like one of you would have to leave the company, or it's almost as if I feel this person is making a sacrifice, but they're not really giving it up. They're not really cutting the cord. They're not really giving up the connection. They're still fantasizing about it. They're still thinking about it. But it's something that they can't, I feel like they feel they can't share it. It's like their own little fantasy world where you exist. This person, see, they stuck with some sort of responsibility, or it's like a very practical or pragmatic energy here. And they tried to get excited about it. They tried to convince themselves that this was going to be something that was going to be exciting, that it was going to fulfill some energy for them on some level. And, you know, maybe it was a good financial move. Maybe it was a move of family. Maybe they have children. Maybe they have a spouse. Maybe they have a significant other, or, you know, maybe they decided to give something from their past another chance for some particular reason. But it's like they tried to move on. They tried to get excited about it. They tried to find joy in their choice, but they couldn't. It's led them to a depression. It's led them to feeling more isolated and more alone. Yeah. If you have been, you know, intimate with this person, or if you have, and when I say intimate, I don't, you know, we're clarifying sex shop, but there are a lot of ways to be intimate with people that don't involve, you know, physical intimacy. You know, it's like this even says, I miss our inside jokes, right? It's like someone who is perpetually thinking about stimulating conversations, or, you know, the period of time in which they got to know you and how special that was and how exciting that was and how comfortable and comforting it was, and how you see the deep sense of connection here. And it's like this person's escape route has become thinking about this now. That's what lights them up. That's what lifts them up out of this normal energy that they're sort of existing in. But it makes them feel terrible, right? It makes them feel guilty for for having the secret and for fantasizing about something that, you know, may feel like cheating for some of them, may feel like they should want to fantasize about the chapter that they're starting, but they don't. You know what I mean? It's like making them feel like something is wrong with them, that like, why isn't what I have in my life or this choice I made fulfilling me? Why isn't it, you know, why do I have to, in order to be happy, in order to light up, in order to feel whole or complete, think about something else, you know? Possibly even think about growing old with someone else, you know, you. You have keeping you a secret, and then you have runner, and you have neglected. And it's like, I think in this person's heart of hearts, they don't want to have to run from this situation anymore. I also feel, though, that this person almost, I keep getting this energy of like the die is cast. We are sort of out on this limb where we are. You know, this is what has, you know how a tree, if you, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but like we had a hammock when I was a kid in our backyard, and it had these two eye screws or whatever they're called into the tree. And the tree grew. And as the tree grew, it sort of absorbed those bolts into the content of the tree. There's this energy of kind of that. It's like, it's not, you know, at some point it became very hard to put the hammock up. It became, you know, we would take it down in the winter and put it up in the spring. And at some point it became really hard to get the hooks of the hammock through the hooks that were being absorbed by the tree. And it's like those bolts had almost become a part of the tree. All of this, of what I'm saying, is just to say that it's as if this person has had to go on sort of being their tree, but they are changed because of this experience, and yet it's sort of making it so that what felt practical no longer works, because they're changed. And because even when we are keeping something a secret, or we're keeping something to ourselves, when we are spending our energy and our creative focus, you know, on this fantasy land where we're living an alternate life, that has an impact. It has an effect, you know, and the entire thing becomes impractical. So you either have to, you know, have some kind of something change or happen that allows them to let go, right? You've got to have someone come by and unscrew the bolt before it gets too deeply ingrained in the tree or enmeshed in the tree, right? Or so that you can, you know, fully access and tap into the life that you have created in your present moment and the now in a way that feels content. Not that you're longing or missing or wishing, or the only time you can find happiness or any energy that helps light you up. See, if you're dealing with an avoidant here, you know, sometimes they use another situation and sort of give it this energy of, well, I don't really have a choice. But really what it's helping them do is not take accountability for avoiding what they really want, that they're afraid of. And yet, kind of unsurprising, I think, a lot of avoidance will actually sort of fixate or almost even kind of become obsessed with what they feel they can't have or what they feel is off limits to them. It's like a kind of hell that is of their own making, really, you know? And I feel that here. And I feel like this person has a sense of guilt for fantasizing about you, and this person has a sense of guilt for not showing up and having the courage to give you what they need, what you needed, or what the relationship or the connection needed to thrive and survive. It's like they took the easy way out because they're a runner, because they're an avoidant. But it's like, hasn't really turned out to be the easy way, because they've got this part of you, this understanding of the connection and this longing for the connection that doesn't really go away. And it may even be more of a source of joy for them in their lives than their life, than what is actually in their reality, which really doesn't feel fair to anyone, not them, not the people they're spending their life with, and not you, you know? But it's almost like, I feel like we're at that point where the tree is taking in the bolt. And it's like, okay, are we unscrewing the bolt? Are we going to try that again? Are we going to, you know, just let the tree consume the bolt and live with this for the rest of our lives like this, or try? Or are we going to show up? And on the bottom of the deck, you have a situation about to explode. It's coming to some kind of climax within this person. This soul family card is really giving me so many energies. It's giving me this, you know, sometimes our family are not, you know, the family that we're born into, but they're the family that we choose. I'm not sure how that fits, but that's definitely coming in very strong right here. And it's giving me this feeling of, you know, when we are happy, when we are feeling emotionally content, we show up differently. You know, it's that old adage, or I don't even know if it's an old adage, but, you know, when I was growing up, my parents pretty much hated each other, but they would always say they were staying together for the kids, but then they would fight and make our house a place where no one wanted to be or live. When they finally got divorced, I was so happy. I was like, okay, finally. Now maybe if they're not engaging with each other, you know, we can have solid relationships with our parents, or maybe they'll be different people, or maybe they'll be able to find something that they couldn't find in the marriage. Maybe they'll be content. Maybe they'll be happy. Finally, they deserve that. You know, that's what I thought at the time. And I think they stayed together until we were like 18 or 19. I was, anyway. I'm not really sure. But it really wasn't like a monumentous thing for me when they got divorced. I was just kind of like, okay, it's about time. It's kind of giving me this feeling of, sometimes we feel like we are personally sacrificing something so that someone else can have a good experience or a solid or a stable experience. But remember, I literally got the word sacrifice around this depression card. And now you have the sacrifice card, and the sacrifice card is sometimes, what am I trying to say? Part of the hangman vibe, right? And with the hangman vibe, it's like someone who it's like they're backwards and upside down, and they've made this choice, but they've kind of gotten caught in their own trap. And now that they're caught in their own trap, and they look back on what brought them here, it's like things become clear, like why they felt the need to make this decision, or why they made this decision, or whether or not that decision is actually serving the highest and best of everyone around. Because what I see is that some sacrifice has been made here, but that sacrifice has led to desolation, isolation, depression. When this is how you feel on the inside, how do you think you're showing up to the people around you? And you see on the soul family, it literally says strength. Some of you may be dealing with a Leo, but this soul family, here, let me see. Let me put my glasses on. There were some words that were just like popping off this card to me. But this is such small print, so let me just tell you. It says, finding your soul family is a blessing that reaps many benefits. You are being asked to reach out and explore to find your soul connections. They will feel familiar, safe, and trusted when you meet them. See, that's the thing. It's like, I feel when this person met you, or when you got with this person, it's like they prioritize something practical or analytical over something that is like their gut feeling or their instinct around the connection. You feel what I'm saying? It's like they chose what they were supposed to choose, or, they ruled out their own feelings or emotions. It's like that decision became a sacrifice, and that may even reflect something deeper within them about what they feel they actually deserve. They may feel they don't actually deserve to be happy. And also someone may have taught them, especially women, people teach women, but men too, that, the noble thing, the best, the highest and best that we can be, the highest expression of valiant honor or something like that is sacrificing your own happiness for like your children, or for your husband, or for your parents, or for the community, or for the greater good of whatever that may be, right? There definitely is messaging out there for us, about that. And so it may be that this person felt that they would finally be worthy if they made some kind of sacrifice, or they sacrificed their own happiness for other people. And they thought, I'm really going to give this a shot. I could be happy here. I could do this. But when you're making a decision and you already feel as though that decision is based on some sort of sacrifice, or some sort of space of non-worthiness, or some sort of space of obligation or duty, and it doesn't really reflect your truth or your own authenticity, rarely does that lead to contentment. I'm not sure. So then you have this self-care and fun and adventure and joy. And it's almost as if, this is sort of an opposite kind of energy of the sacrifice energy. And it is almost like a map to find your way out of whatever this is that this person has found themselves in. They're feeling very isolated, very lonely, very sad. The energy that I'm tapping into, it's just like the only source of happiness, the only bright spot is thinking about, reminiscing about this connection they had with you. And so I almost think, you know, I kind of get this feeling of it's like I'm not really sure what's wrong. And, you know, I just feel like I'm going to butcher this, but this is so what it is. You know, Michael Singer talks about how, oh God, we think about things that don't make us happy and we want to sort of avoid them, and because they make us uncomfortable. And things that make us uncomfortable, we just kind of want to move away from them. But when we can sit in the discomfort and we can relax in the discomfort, we allow ourselves to release it. We allow ourselves to set it free. And it really isn't about what makes us uncomfortable. It is, or like he even describes it in this way. You know how I say on this channel all the time, Rumi says, you know, and again, this is a paraphrase of Rumi, but which, oh gosh, anyway, seek not love, seek instead the barriers you've built within you against it. When you are seeking love, I don't want to go like, I just, when you're seeking something, you don't already have it and you aren't already it. You're seeking it. Therefore, you're not in frequential harmony with it. Because when you're in frequential harmony with it, you're not seeking it. You are it. You are experiencing it. You are the experience of it. I don't know how else to say that. But, you know, so what you need to find instead are the moments in your life where you tightened up, where you experienced something kind of earth-shattering, and you felt the need to protect yourself. You felt anxiety, you felt fear. All of those things tighten us up. And when we tighten up, we hold on to those things. We push them down, we suppress them, and we take them on. We carry them around like burdens after that, until we can sit with the discomfort and we can acknowledge it and we can allow it to be, and we can relax. Because then when we relax, we open up. And what happens when we open up? We allow that thing to leave. We allow that experience, we allow that wound, we allow that trauma to just head on out very peacefully. And it feels like with this person, it's kind of like, I feel as though they understand that there's something wrong. They may even feel there's something wrong in the choice or the decision that they made. They may even be kind of second guessing it, or feeling like, man, I know when I made this decision, I was willing to make this sacrifice, but like, wow, I'm feeling really depressed and I'm feeling really isolated and I'm feeling really lonely, and that's all very heavy and it's all very lower vibrational, and it's kind of changing me and making me be someone who is really struggling to show up for myself, let alone the other people in my life, right? And so something's got to give. And so this person may even be seeking some kind of balance in their life. They may be like, well, you know, maybe if I took a moment for myself, or maybe if I did this, or maybe if I did this, or maybe if I went on a girls' trip, or maybe if I, you know, whatever it is, then maybe that would help. Maybe that would recharge my battery, and I'd be able to come back and I'd be able to be more of something, more able to handle this situation. And so I think this is sparking some piece of truth within this person that is giving them sort of an opportunity. Because you know what happens when you're living like this and then you do something like that is, you know, it sort of, it helps, and it helps for a little while, but it isn't sustainable. You know, it's like you're gonna have to keep going and doing that, you know, and that's not always practical, and it just, like I said, it's not always sustainable. And you know, maintaining a balance when you have these kind of lower vibrational energies that you're not, love is a very high vibration. So when you have let go of all the burdens and the things that are burying you and that are creating obstacles within you to being the energy and the frequency of love, you are freeing yourself of those lower vibrational tendencies, the regret, the guilt. You know, we saw a lot of that here in the clarifiers. And that's real work. That's long lasting. That's sustainable, right? But when you're just sort of putting a Band-Aid on a bullet hole, I've heard someone use that expression recently, and I was like, wow. Then the Band-Aid only holds while the Band-Aid holds, but the bullet hole requires something greater than that, okay? So you have here, so much has happened between us in the past. Can we work through it again? Don't give up on me yet. I'm scared to lose you. I've tried my best to move on, but I can't seem to let you go. I need you. You can see this person's thought process. You can see all of this reading is so in alignment that this person, it's like they may even be worried that you are moving on, because remember, on the bottom of the deck with the first deck we used, it says it hurts to see online that you've moved on with your life. So they may be getting some kind of impression, even energetically, that you're moving on. Which may be bringing about some kind of urgency, a sense of urgency. Yeah, oh my God, on the bottom of this deck, it says, I feel like you've moved on without me, and that's difficult for me to see. Yeah, it's creating some kind of conflict within them that I think is creating this kind of the momentum for this situation's about to explode. There's the freaking King of Swords. Did I not say that? I felt that from the jump. Oh man, yeah, this person, it's coming to a head. This is coming to a climax. This energy, it's getting so burdensome, so heavy, so weighty on this person. This living in a desolate sacrifice. I mean, that's what I would say. It just feels like it's pretty overwhelming. Plus, their desire to be in this connection with you, or their desire to be with you, is becoming its own overburdening energy here. And you have the Tower, and this is where, you know, we crumble under the weight of our burdens, under the weight of the barriers that are preventing us from just being in our highest vibration. With the Page of Pentacles, this is divine intervention. That is an opportunity for a spiritual lesson. This person has been very analytical, very logical. They have made practical choices. They have, you know, tried to be honorable, or, you know, be valiant or something like that. And you know, it may not appear that way. That may not be the words that you would use to describe it. But, you know, it's kind of, it's almost giving me the vibe that, like, even with this person, it's like, even if they were a jerk, or even if they cheated on you or something, and you're like, that's not valiant, that's not noble. Well, in their mind, you have no idea what is in their mind. In their mind, they may be saying, you know, I'm going to do this. I know it will hurt in the shortcoming, but, you know, in the end, it's best because I'm not worthy of this person, or I don't deserve this person, or I will only hurt this person in the end. So I might as well do the cheap shot, you know, rather than just fail them and have to live with that burden. So the Ten of Wands is being clarified by the Strength card. And, you know, this is pretty powerful. It takes strength to remove the burdens. Like I said, you know, you have to be willing to sit in your own discomfort. And typically, the minute that discomfort touches us, the minute that discomfort registers within us, we get fearful, we get anxious, our whole entire energy, just being a human being experiencing that, tightens up and tenses up. You know, if you've ever, there's so many great teachers out here that talk about this right now. Tara Brach with her rain technique, you know, of just relaxing, investigating, you know, looking at it and nurturing the part of you that wound is coming from. Like, if you've dealt with a narcissist and you've been gaslit, and then you come across someone totally different situation, but this person is sort of discrediting or discounting your feelings, or kind of, just not, they're gaslighting you. It brings back, it's not just the experience in that moment, but it brings back that feeling in the pit of your stomach when you're being gaslit. And it brings back that whole crippling effect that it had on you. And so what happens is, if we tighten up around that, having that experience again, we suppress it again, we're going through another cycle of it again. But if we learn how to kind of relax, and we learn how to say, okay, I observed this, I'm being gaslit. This reminds me of the time, this is bringing up those triggering feelings that I felt when I was in that relationship for 10 years, or with my parents or whomever. And, I was not allowed to have my feelings. My feelings were not valid. My point of view was not important, or wasn't worth considering, like whatever it is, and then we can relax. We can have even more space, and we can open up to not just letting it go in the moment, that the gaslighting that's occurring now, but letting go of the wounding and the burdens that we're carrying. This is how we overcome the things that are no longer serving us. This is how we release what is no longer serving us. You know what I'm saying? So it feels as though, this person, to me, it feels like this person is reaching the end of a cycle where it's like they know they can't keep going on the way that they're going on. And so they have to figure out a different way. They have to figure out how to release this burden. They have to figure out what that looks like. And they may have tried temporary solutions, or they may be getting ready to try a temporary solution. Like, you may be seeing this person go on a girl's trip or a guy's trip, or a, like whatever. It feels as though that would almost be confirmation that this person is like ready to pop their cork, and this is something that they're doing in order to try to relieve that pressure before they pop their cork, kind of energy. And then you have this Tower here with the Page of Pentacles, which is divine intervention that leads to a spiritual lesson, with the Six of Cups and the High Priestess. And this is almost like that acknowledgement of, the only time I'm happy, the only time I feel that I'm in my highest and best, or that I feel even connected to myself and to my true self and to my true desire, my true intuitive nature, is when I am reminiscing about this past experience. And that in and of itself is a breakthrough acknowledgement. And with the Warrior of Wands, it's like, do I now go after what I desire, or do I stay with this practical and analytical decision that I have already made, right? King of Swords, Warrior of Wands. Wow, it's becoming clear. This person is feeling that they may not have, I feel that this person is feeling that there has been some kind of imbalance. You may have given more to the situation than this person was capable of. I feel this person does feel guilty. I feel that this person does feel a need to kind of balance out what happened here. The Justice card is also reminiscent of a soul contract. And so this can be where, the Page of Cups is our authentic truth, or it represents that for me. So it's like this person, when they are breaking down to their most vulnerable, when they're kind of at that place where they're like, I just can't take it anymore. I can't keep doing this. I'm empty. I'm depressed. I'm isolated. I can't keep supporting these things with all of this emptiness. It's just, there's nothing to give. So when this person looks at their authentic truth, they see this soulmate relationship, they see this soul contract, they see the truth of what this is, right? And with the Eight of Pentacles, what do soul contracts ask us to do but work on ourselves, right? What do they ask us to do but master ourselves? Why am I choosing something that isn't really what I desire? Why am I running? Why am I avoiding? Why am I trying to commit to something that isn't what I actually want? Why do I think that it is more noble to sacrifice the self than it is to honor the self and be someone who can show up, create an environment of stability and happiness and love and joy? Why do I automatically assume that I would absolutely suck at that and that I would fail? And that's why I'm doomed and destined to a life that is unfulfilled or is not leading to my own contentment. These questions, this opening the self up, this relaxing and looking for the actual truth, because even when it comes from a space of desperation, because everything is falling apart, because it feels like you cannot sustain what it is you were trying to build, because it was built on this faulty decision, this decision out of obligation, or this decision out of feeling unworthy, or whatever, or feeling an obligation to your job rather than your soulmate, you know what I mean? Like, feeling like it's just too important, your financial security or whatever this is. I mean, this is a general reading. It's going to be different for everyone. But, it's like having that clarity. And once you have that clarity, once you have that enlightenment, you can elevate. You now that you see it, now that you know it, you can rise above these lower vibrational tendencies. With that Strength card, with the Sun card, some of you are probably definitely dealing with Leo. You also have Libra. Yeah, this person is, they know that they failed to take action, and they failed to kind of, aces are divinely given opportunities, right? And what happens with that ace is what we do with them, how we cultivate them, how we nurture them, how we decide to handle the opportunity we've been given. And with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse and the Warrior of Pentacles in reverse, the Warrior of Pentacles is that knight that is scared but does it anyway. That knight who, it may feel very foreign to this person to take a step in this direction, but they do it anyway, because they know that if they're just taking one step in the right direction, it will be meaningful at some point. It will add up to something significant in their life. And this person didn't do that. This person refused the opportunity when they were given to honor a soul contract. You have the Eight of Pentacles with the Four of Cups. Now that they've decided to work on themselves, now that they've decided to make some attempt to master themselves, now that they're finally possibly seeing something clearly and beginning the process of healing and rising above these lower vibrational energies and letting go of these burdens that were the obstacle or the barrier between themselves and love, right? They may miss the opportunity altogether with the one, Empress energy, the one who they treasure the most. So this person is going through a lot. I am just, I wasn't planning on this, so I'm just going to use this little deck, but I am just going to ask what the best case scenario is here for this story. What is the best case scenario here in the near future? Wow. This person, I feel like this person is thinking about making the choice to reach out and to communicate. You have the Lovers and the Eight of Wands dancing together. You have the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, wow. You have the Wheel of Fortune with the Nine of Wands. It's like this person can't let go. They can't give up. They can't release this. Therefore, something has to change. They can't, what they're doing or how they're coping is not sustainable. With the Six of Pentacles showing up on the bottom of the deck, this is talking about, you know, investing equally and showing up and putting your money where your mouth is and not running and not avoiding. And this is, it feels like a very serious energy. You have the Queen of Swords with the Hierophant. Some of these people have to detach from, you know, a committed relationship of some sort. They may live with someone, or they may actually even be married, or they may even be engaged or something like that. They have to break something like that off in order to be able to come forward, in order to be able to show up, in order to be able to invest. But things are changing. I mean, you have the Wheel of Fortune, and you do have someone considering making a choice to come forward or to communicate, because they just can't seem to be able to let this go no matter what they do, or come to a place of peace, or even survive in this energy. All right, let me get you some message cards. If you're dealing with a water sign, I didn't fall in love with you because I have always loved you and always will. The kindness in your heart is so beautiful. Everything I do reminds me of you. You're dealing with a fire sign. I've never cared so deeply for someone before. Facing my reflection is more than I can handle. Can you handle all my scars? I want to be there for you, there to take care of you. You're dealing with an earth sign. My entire being and body is attracted to you. I want more with you one day. I know who you are to me. And there's a strange and deep connection between us. And if you're dealing with an air sign, you're the only person in the world who really scares me. The taste of your presence is something I will never be able to forget. You are my secret passion. And I love your sense of humor. Pisces, this is what I have for you. This is like, if you're in separation from your person and you want to know what's going on, I don't think it's a pretty picture over there. But I think, you know, something is imbalanced, and it's leading to a place where this person is, you know, having an opportunity to have a realization. And I feel like something may be changing, and they may be reaching out. They may be making a decision to actually sit down and have a strong conversation with you. All right, Pisces, this is what I have for you. I really hope it helps. Until next time, all my best. Bye-bye.